Holla, what's up?
Up, Anthony Hamilton, my celebrity life. GeHolla.
Shout out to Ge Holla, reaching 1 million listeners on his podcast, My Celebrity Life, resetting the bar.
What's up, Ge Holla? This your boy Genuine. Shout out to you.
Y'all, this Master P, and shout out to Ge Holla of My Celebrity Life, the show.
Ge Holla, check this. I know we didn't get to speak at the spot that we was at together, but look, man, keep going, keep doing your thing.
This young man right here, Mr. Reggie, Cool Meal Shareef, is going to give you some good game, some good wisdom as the founder of the Edge Foundation, the Cool to Be Smart movement. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the show. You know what I'm saying? We're going to name him a doctor because he is a doctor. You know what I'm saying? He don't need to go to school for that. He's the doctor of the streetology. Welcome, doctor. What's going on, doctor?
I'll take that. I'll take that. I won't take the gravity away from our intelligent minds who've earned the official doctor title. But however, I can be a doctor too. You know what I'm saying? Like a doctor to me is a person that is mad intelligent and that has taken their brain to another level to prove that they're smart and doing the will of the people. So I'll take that in that language, in that vernacular. I'll be Dr. Cool Millio, Cool Meal Shareef. So thank you, Brother Holla, man. It's so good to be here in front of good people and good energy and good vibrations. I love what you're doing with your movement, and all of that is really aligned to the things we get to do over here in my life and my world. And I just look forward to the opportunity to converse with you, good brother, and then to talk about whatever you want to talk about, from my upbringings all the way to the things I get to do now every single day. So the world is our oyster today, and let's just find a way to reach people in a different way. I look forward to it. You wow, I just told you earlier, you like a smoke machine, man. You put the battery charger, you the Flavor Flav of the game. You put the charger in somebody's back and just they're just like, okay, let me just run through this wall. So I'll just run through this wall, my brother. But the hood defined me, man. I'm a kid that was born and raised in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, in a town, right, a neighborhood called Homewood. And Homewood taught me, resilience. It taught me about survival. It taught me about how to build relationships, how to, again, survive, and navigate, different scenarios and situations. So the street smarts was really, really paramount in my upbringing. And I value that and I appreciate that, because those lessons to me, those are the lessons that shape you for who you are. They allow you to build that resilience and empower you to really achieve greatness if you do it the right way. So the way my upbringing was, I was a smart kid from elementary school. So I remember being in class, and the teacher went around and he asked everybody, what was their grade, and then I raised my hand and was like, I got 9 out of 10, on this, and the average in the room was like 4 and 5. So one of the little young kids from the hood, he looks at me, I'm in elementary school. He's like, "You gonna mess it up for everybody, man. You think you smart, huh? I got something for you after class." So that was my first, round of, whoa, this cat is really trying to bully me. So bullying is pretty paramount when you're growing up in the neighborhoods, because we've been taught to hide how smart we are. And then people that are cool and not smart, they use cool as their defense mechanism, right? Because they aren't smart. So people go with what their key jump shot is. They're gonna go to their go-to move. And people that aren't really smart, their go-to move sometimes is bullying. So we went out, we went after class and we're rumbling, and I held my own, and I've always been able to hold my own. So we get into it, we roughing it out, and then he's like, "All right, cool, whatever, whatever," But that allowed me at that point to know that we got to defend one thing, and if we're going to defend that one thing, it is the thing between our two ears, which is our brain. So since then, and since that day, I've always defended intelligence, and I've never shied away from being that smart kid. So the other piece is that I want to share. So smart kid growing up, then I got into sports. I was really good at, multi-sports. So I played all three sports all year round, at least the ones in the hood: basketball, baseball, football. I played those all year round and was pretty good in the sports as well. And then, me and a couple of the fellas, we real dudes. So we had some game with us too. You know what I'm saying? So we had some games and we had the ladies and stuff too. So I had that rare component of being a smart kid that wasn't afraid of being smart. That was cool because I was a jock. I played the sports and all of that. And then I also had some game with me, so I had some ladies too. So what I realized and through growing up in that Pittsburgh experience is that people that are both cool and smart are probably, some of the most lethal people in the world. That combination, I believe in my heart of hearts, and that's why I do what I do, is the most important component to people that look like you and me. If we can master the fact that we can use this smart brain for good and then use our swagger, our energy, our love, our passion, our grit, determination, our grind, our wittiness, our coolness. If we can use both of those, we're going to be dope. And I've been able to leverage those to be who I am today. So those components are what makes up this kid that grew up in Homewood. And then I think one of the other things you asked me, you're like, how'd you get your name? So some people, everybody asks that. They're like, how'd you get your name? So I go by Cool Meal. That's my name. That's my brand. That's my trademark. Like that's me, and the place to be. But the way I got that name is my middle name is Jamil. And in my neighborhood, we gave everybody nicknames. So we got folks, if you were in the neighborhood and you were black, I'll give you an example. One of the guys in the neighborhood was a black, really, really black. So his nickname is Skillet. You know what I'm saying? So we gave people names, every single person in the neighborhood. So for me, Jamil was the name, and they shortened it up, and people would first call me Mill growing up, Mill from the hill, never work, never will. And then it was like, you know what, Mill, you're a really cool dude, man. We really think you're a cool brother. We're gonna call you Cool Mill. And they mirrored that together. And that became, who I've been since then, since growing up, as a teenager. So yeah, that's like my neighborhood grow up story that really, put the energy that I have that I want to put into the world. That all came from that resilience and grit from Homewood, man, Pittsburgh, growing up.
No, that's real. And if you think about like what you said, you helped me to get a divine spark from the source. If you can sell drugs, you can be a pharmacist.
Absolutely.
If you can navigate how to keep from getting caught by the police that have every technological advantage over you, even for a little while, you
Yeah,
are intelligent enough to go to school, learn the legal drugs, and sell
absolutely.
those because they're way
Absolutely.
more powerful than the illegal drugs. People don't stuff like Adderall, like for real. Y'all really
Mhm.
make that a medicine? That's
For
really
real.
crack. That's legal
Right.
crack.
Right. I mean, and the crazier piece, and I tell folks that are in the hood, born and raised in the hood, like it is way harder being a gangster than it is being an intelligent person working in corporate America or running your own business. Like it is so hard being a thug. Like, and I think some of them just don't get it. Like, you know how, I mean, every day when you put your brain in a state of stress and fear, right? It deteriorates your body. It impacts the way you think. It impacts how you look physically. It impacts you mentally. So if you just grow up in a state of fear every single day, what you do to your brain, it just makes you such a negative and dark person that just really eventually doesn't care. So that kind of lifestyle just creates like a person that is just very, very rough and rigid. But if they took that same intelligence, right? You said math, they're street pharmacists. These brothers can break down how much they're going to make off of a kilo, but then same brother will tell you that he's not good in math. Like he's like, oh, I don't like math. I don't like, physics. These same guys will slam you into the ground, DDT you, but tell you that they don't like physics. It's just like, what are we talking about? So the same skill set that our people have and that have been growing up, idolizing, if they changed their mindset and took that skill set and put it into being smart or being more common, being different, they think that's different, but actually being different, they would change the game. So don't be a street pharmacist, be a real pharmacist. Like, what are we doing?
You can go all around the world selling your dope. You
You go
know
all
what I'm
around
saying?
the world. I mean, because hey, we know the pharmacy. That's what it is. Like, Adderall and all of these pills and all of that has different components of drugs, of real drugs in it. To be honest, and it creates zombies and fiends legally. So if that is the way to do it and a route, then I would love to see more, street pharmacists become real pharmacists because they probably do better. They probably create some meat out here. They may create a smart pill by now, who knows? But no, but I feel you. You were spot on with that as well, man. So so here's the misnomer and the thing that I want to describe. So when we think about literacy, we only think about how many books you've read, right? It's like, oh, this person can't read, he's illiterate. So we've tied illiteracy to only one form of literacy, which is false. There's like 10 different forms of literacy, my brother. So there's financial literacy, right? There's literacy, educational literacy. There's more literacies than just reading a book. So when we can go from beyond just focusing on one singular part of that literacy equation and change it to financial literacy, smart literacy, etc., we changed the way our brain operates and the way our brain sees things. So the way I like to draw those connections, right, when I'm going out and I'm talking to students and to youth about a lot of the stuff we do in our movement, it's a whole mindset shift about the way that we think and the way that we approach things. So I connect those two in personal ways. I connect those through stories. I connect those through workshops and things that help develop our minds and to make them way more mature than they were before they came into, the workshop or my environment or my space to be able to talk, educate, and teach. So that's what I would say. Literacy is bigger than just being able to read a book. There's street literacy. There's all kinds of other literacy. Like you got to be literate and knowing how to move and shake, in your environment, in your neighborhood. That's a big form of literacy, right? The school of hard knocks. Educational literacy, the things you learn, the things that you're putting into your brain, the things that you've mastered. There's literacy components to that as well. So I just think we just need those mind shifts, and those mind shifts are very important. The ISH Foundation is an organization that was spawned out of my love for giving back to the next. So it's an acronym that stands for Education, Development, Growth, and Excellence. So our goal is to figure out how can we educate our, just people in general, right? To make them aware of how literate we need to be in all of those forms of literacy. How can we and what can we do to help develop ourselves to put ourselves in positions to be better than we were yesterday, today. So the development, and then we teach and we talk about the importance of growth, right? Growth comes when you're learning, when you're feeling, better about the decisions that you made in life. So we teach and talk about the importance of growth. So education, development, growth, and then all of it is intentionally designed to make you be more excellent again today than you were yesterday. So how do we do that? So we do that through our first key program, which is called It's Cool to Be Smart. So, and It's Cool to Be Smart, what we do is we redefine what we call STEM to STEAM. And here's the reality. Most people only think about STEM. So science, technology, engineering, and math. But when you look at specifically underserved, underrepresented, and our people, you can't strip out the other things that make us amazing and dope, which are these other elements that we convert STEM to STEAM. So STEAM to us is science, technology, and then entrepreneurship. We're entrepreneurial people. You know what I mean? I was slinging mixtapes out of my trunk, growing up, at 16 years old. And I've seen people from my neighborhood sell any and everything, from tires all the way to penny candy. I have a saying that I use. It's see more, be more. So the more you see, simply the more you want to be. So a lot of us, we're simply just surrounded and we become the environments that we're in, right? We've heard the term we're all products of our environments. And that's true. So if you take, this young brother or this grown person and you take them out the hood and then where things are abandoned and people feel like that's okay, right? Where the streets are run over, where there's graffiti on sidewalks, where there's pimping and hoeing and thugging, everywhere you look. So when you see people that are in those environments and you're around it so long, it becomes so common to you that it's not even a big deal. It's like, oh yeah, whatever. And then when you move out, like me, just through success, I've had the ability, right, to put myself in a different environment. And I'm in an environment and I don't see any of that. The environment that I'm in, I see kids going to school, I see kids going to college, they're going to class. There's no graffiti and trash on the ground. There's no houses that are abandoned and run down and dilapidated. So the kids that I get to raise, right, that's what they see. So that becomes their expectation of excellence and what it's all about. So guess what? You mentioned earlier, okay, well, what you want to do about it. So I'm a solution driven individual. I got an album. It's called "It's Cool to Be Smart." So, and it's substance-based hip hop. So when you listen to it, we got some real shit in there because I still do real things, right? But when you listen to it, the majority of the music is substance-based. You're going to get something out of it. So you're going to get some songs where you're like, oh, that brother dropped some game right there. That's going to stick with me for the rest of my life. Like I used to get when I grew up listening to all the artists that we just talked about. It's just not happening anymore. So I have become, just through my upbringings, a solution-minded individual. I see a problem, I try to figure out a way to go address it. I'm not the dude that's going to be talking about, because our people need to do this. You know what we need to do? That ain't me. I'm the brother that's going to be like, here's what I'm doing, or here's what I've done. But I'm not the kind of brother that's like, well, we need to do no. So as we mentioned, if somebody wants to be inspired, if you want to be motivated, if you want your kids to think a different way, if you want to give them some balance, listen to the album. If you want to show them what excellence look like, most of the people in this project are of Black excellence that have come from humble beginnings and are doing really amazing things with themselves. So we don't have an excuse anymore to say, I've never seen a Black doctor. I've never seen a rocket scientist. Yeah, push play on the documentary and you're gonna see that. And when people say, man, I wish um I can get, some really smart, amazing Black men and women to come into my classroom, okay, holla at us, because we do that. And we're gonna bring them folks into your classroom and your kids gonna leave on another level. So if we start to be solution oriented in the way that we think and in the way that we approach things, instead of being that person that just sits around and complains a lot, we'll get a lot more done. So that's what I try to do, in the best way I can, is to wake up and try to deliver solutions for the problems I see in the world.
No, that's cool. That you ended that perfectly. What's your social media? How do people get in contact and tap in with you?
Yeah, so people can get in contact with me in a few ways. So my overall everything is housed on reginaldshareef.com. So that's ReginaldShareef.com. And it has the foundation on there. It's cool to be smarts on there. Everything is on there. If you want to just follow us with the stuff we're doing with the It's Cool to Be Smart mission through the foundation, it is cool to be smart.com. So those are the two entry points into what we do in regards to how to get in touch with us. If you want to watch the documentary, you can go to YouTube today, Tubi today, Apple TV today, right now, or Plex, and type in "It's Cool to Be Smart," and you just look for, you look for that title. boom, it's going to pop up. You can push play on the documentary today. And then if you go to Spotify or Apple Music, you type in again, it's cool to be smart. And then the album is going to pop up. And then the other projects I have 4 or 5 different albums released on there, but the album will pop up and you can listen to a few songs on there to some more substance-based hip hop and learn something. So those are our entry points into how to get in touch with us and to tap into what we do. I love this movement. I get to wake up every day and I'm able to turn my passion into purpose and my purpose into profit. So I don't do all of this just to be broke. Profit is very important as well. We have to feed our families, but that's what I get to help people do. In summary, I'm a entrepreneur that helps people turn their passions into purpose and their purposes into profit.
No, that's real. In my spirit, you can be a poor righteous teacher, but in my physical, I can be rich. I can have all the riches on the kingdom of heaven. Because, like I say,
Absolutely.
neither is it low is it here, is it there, but the kingdom of heaven is within you, baby.
Mm,
You know what
mm,
I'm saying?
mm,
And if
mm,
I'm holding the kingdom and I'm rolling with the kingdom, I need my crown with my diamonds on it too. You know what I'm talking about too?
Talk that talk. Talk that talk. But you're right, and it's in your graphic, right? That I'm looking at, behind you, and the mission that you're putting out there to the world. You get to meet a lot of great people, a lot of dope people. I love the things that you get to do, and I'm hoping that some of these conversations and some of these clips that we're having, right, go viral instead of the ones that we get to see, when we look out here, twerking and gyrating and big breasts and booties get viral. But why can't some of these discussions and conversations go viral? So let's try to make this movement, right, and what you got going on, some of the biggest things in the world, because these kind of conversations, I wish we just added a little balance to the other ones that we have. Like if people just knew, think about this, if people just knew that the passport can be as powerful as the diploma.
Mm.
Like, go get some stamps on your passport. Once you see more and you're out there and you go to this other country, you'd be like, whoa, like this is changing, my life and my mind about how I view poverty or how I view success or how I view happiness. Some of these places, they live off $1 or $2 an hour, and they're more happy, right, than me and you. If we knew that the purpose, right, of college is to graduate and to get an offer, is not to go to college. So if we just stop even telling people and teaching people, hey, you need to go to college. Well, okay, so guess what? Some of these kids are going to college and they come out with a 2.5 or a 2.0, and you just wasted your $150,000 because who's going to want you, brethren? Ain't nobody gonna want you with the 2.5 or the 2.0. So instead of going to college, you might as well go into a trade and be an electrician or a plumber, or AC, HVAC. Like they make just as much money as some people coming out of college. And those trades are really, really big. And with the rise of AI, these things are significant. So if we just start again to just train our mind to kind of think differently and to evaluate careers differently, evaluate how we live differently, how we've been born, how we've grown up, and how to change and convert those experiences into lessons learned. We become, whole different beings once we're able to do that and take that knowledge and information and do something with it. So I hope, my hope is that we continue to use this vessel, that's our brain, to make ourselves smarter and better every day.
And we will. So more to be. My good brother, I can't hold you too much longer. I appreciate you. One final request from you.
Yeah.
My name is GeHolla. The show is called My Celebrity Life. So say your name and be like, I'm on My Celebrity Life with GeHolla. We'll be up out of here.
I am Reginald Cool Mill Shareef, and guess who I'm hanging out with, y'all? Ge Holla, and we are on My Celebrity Life. And I need y'all to know that it's cool to be smart. Wake up every day, every single day, and make smart the new cool. I appreciate y'all.